Hi, you guys. Okay, The Handmaid's Tale, Season 4, Episode 2. Okay, back at the ranch at Gilead. It's the very next day, and June hears a truck pull up. So she look out the peephole, and she must see the Guardian pack pull up. So she goes to the barn to alert the rest of the girls, and they were in there cleaning up the mess from last night's murder. Child, the pigs was eating Commander Johnny for breakfast. Alma asks June, was it a lot of them? And June said, no, it's just one car. June goes over to Janine and she tells her, look, I need for you not to run. And she walks over to the window and shows Janine that the Guardian was out there. Janine is about to panic. June tells her, look at me. Remain calm. Everything will be okay. Janine said, okay. So she tells Janine, look, go find Alma. And June takes off to see what she can soak up eavesdropping. So the Guardian is now on the inside talking to Commander Keys, and little Big Mama over there coaching her husband because, you know, he's got some type of dementia, and I don't think that they can find this out because, of course, they wouldn't let her sit over there with him, and he got dementia. Look, she done turned the damn ranch into a safe house. So the Guardian is saying they always have trouble out of him like this. He been written up, and he got caught sleeping and drunk before. So Esther said, I'm sorry, we haven't seen him. And so Commander Keys, his ass, he started thumping that damn cane again. And Esther quickly gave him something. So the Guardian said, is he okay? Esther said, yes, he's fine. This helps him with his pain. The Guardian then asked, can he speak to the Mothers? So Esther said, well, they're inside bottling up some cider, but I can go get them if you want me to. He said, no, that'll be fine. It's okay. We'll come back. Little Esther come inside and she asks June, how did she do? And June said, you did good. And she said, what does that mean? They came here. And June tells her, look, we have to go. June goes in and she tells the girls, look, we have to get out of here. They'll be back. And Alma, she wants to go to Texas which is now called the Republic of Texas. She says she hears that they're letting people in, and June is like, no, we need to go west, stick to Mayday, because we can't go all the way to Texas based off a rumor. June asks the Guardian that's with that whole Mayday operation, has he heard anything from Mayday? And he says, actually, you're going to have to go down and see her. And so June is like, wow, why she can't come here? He tells June, well, it's because you can leave, but she can't. Essentially, June goes down and meet up with the Mayday connection. And just like little Esther, she too is fascinated with June. June has become somewhat of a savior around these parts. Oh, and I forgot to mention where she's meeting up with Mayday connection is actually at a brothel. She actually is one of the women that was at the last brothel when Commander Winslow was murdered with the pen. Says to June, wow, I thought that you would be taller. She said, first Commander Winslow, then you got all those kids on that airplane. So June asks her, like, what's up? What did you hear? And she tells her, well, they're keeping a lid on it as of right now. She said, but even still, word is getting around and people was doing more things. People was cutting power lines. They're setting shit on fire, slashing tires. June is bringing a rebel out in people. June is like, yeah, girl. Do you have a place for us to stay? So the girl goes on and she's telling her where the house is and what to look for when they get there to know it's safe to come in. So June said, look, is it ready today? And she said, no, I can't send word out until tomorrow. June asks her, how did you know about Commander Winslow? And she tells June, well, I was in Boston before I came here. And when that happened, they came in and cleared the house. But luckily, I was one of the ones that made it out. June says to her, what's up with all these commanders around here? And she tells June, well, they'll be here for a couple of days because they're waiting to go to Chicago. So June said, okay, so they sitting ducks? Like, Mayday should do something. So the girl tells her, look, you think Mayday is going to liberate this place? I gave up on that a long time ago. June said, look, Mayday isn't an army. My girl, Mayday is us. In Canada, Luke set up a fundraiser. They're calling it Angels Fly. So they want to raise money to keep up June's mission of reuniting families. Rita came and she spoke on what she went through in Gilead and June's mission to get the children out. How she didn't think that June could pull it off, and she's grateful for her. It makes Rita emotional, so she gets off the stage, and Moira is there, and Moira tells her, you did a great job. Rita tells Moira that she had to do it because Luke asked her, and Moira told her, actually, you didn't have to do it. Free means you're free to make your own decisions. Rita tells Moira, well, being here is a gift. And I thank God for that. And I thank God for June. Moira said, yeah, and June is still over there, raising hell. Rita said, I'll keep her in my prayer. And Moira said, pray for Gilead. Okay, over to the jailhouse luxury suites. Now that Serena is going to play victim, because I say play victim because she's no victim in my eyes. She's getting an examination. They take an x-ray of her hand, and we know that she's missing the tip of her pinky. So they asked her, did he do this to you? Referring to Fred, her husband. And she said, not directly, and it's appropriate punishment under Gilead law. The doctor continues. She asks her, have your husband ever SA'd you? Serena said no. The doctor asks, have your husband ever been with anybody else besides you and the handmaid? Serena said yes, he frequents the brothels. The doctor then asks her, were there any other physical abuse? And at first Serena said no, and then she said, yes, he hit me here, I guess in her back, because she sure don't have no ass. Doctor then asks, so was that another appropriate punishment? Shady as fuck. Finally, Serena got to have a meeting with her lawyer, and we know that for whatever reason they are trying to get Serena a lighter charge, like make her play like she was the victim, like she was forced in this. And Serena tells them, I hear what y'all saying, but I just don't feel comfortable. So her lawyer said, well, look, we're just trying to set up a pattern of abuse. And Serena said, look, that it was not abuse. She is telling them, I was all in with this, but they keep trying to save her, which that is a lawyer's job. But I don't understand why Mark is sitting in there. Mark must like Serena. Her lawyer tells her, well, look, girl, this is the only way you're going to be safe. You let me know what's up. Mark says to Serena, look, I just don't understand why you keep caping for him. Serena tells him, well, I knew him before Gilead. And she asks Mark, can he set something up where they can see each other? And she's going to get Fred to drop the claim against her. Okay, back in Gilead, June is back at the ranch and she's discussing her plans to take over the brothel. And Alma is like, are you crazy? Why are you doing this? This is a terrible idea. June tells her, look, I didn't ask you. I can do it by myself. Alma said, you still haven't told me why. So June said, because I believe that the women there needs to be free. Alma said, really? Or do you just want to kill a bunch of commanders? So June has said both. Mind you, June is into this, but she does not know how she's going to do this at this point. She does not have a clue. Little Big Mama came in the room and everything got quiet. She tells them, y'all stop talking when I came in here. And I don't like that. I don't like that shit right there. So June tells her, look, we weren't talking about you. Did you need anything? So Little Big Mama is worried about the guardians coming back in packs and asking more and more questions. So June tries to calm her down. She said, don't worry about it. I got it. June follows Esther inside the kitchen and she tells Esther, we're going to leave tomorrow night. Little Esther's heart is broken. She's begging June, please don't leave me here. Please. And June is just looking at her. She cannot tell her no. She tells her, okay, but we're going to have to do something with the commander. Esther looks up towards the ceiling at some herbs and plants that she had June asks her, have you been poisoning the commander? Little Big Mama said, you learn things on the farm. June asks her, my girl, can you show me? Esther tells June that she puts it in a cobbler, only a small amount that will keep Commander Keys from being a pest. She says to June, he's not a good man. I don't think there's any good men in Gilead. June says, I think there are good men everywhere. Gilead just has a way of bringing the worst out in people. It's complicated. I am glad June explained that to her, because with all the things Esther been through, the way Esther may see it, yes, all the men in her life aren't good. Nevertheless, there are some good men out here. Sidebar. Y'all do know that poisoning the slave master, that goes back to African American slavery. Now, history will try to tell you that it was voodoo. If you research some slave revolts that happened in America, you'll find that a lot of slave masters was poisoned. Never understood why a slave master would want their slaves to prepare their meals. Stupid motherfuckers. Okay, Serena meets up with her husband, Fred. And Fred said, my lawyer told me what to expect. Are you really going to go in there and tell them all of our business? Serena said, no, I don't want to. This is just strategy. Fred then said, nah, bitch, you rusty. I used to fall for that shit, but not no more. My eyes are wide open. Serena said, Fred, I just want my daughter back. Fred said, let me tell you something. Nicole is not your daughter any more than she is mine. And if you think that you're going to take that baby, walk out here and make a new life for yourself, bitch, you got me fucked up. Serena going to say, I thought once you got out that uniform that you would come out back to your old self. Fred said, I am Frankenstein, ho. You created this monster. And we know that it was the propaganda in Serena's book that put the battery in Fred's back to ultimately kick off Gilead. Serena feels that Fred never once stood up for her once he became a leader, that she once felt that everything that Fred did to her she deserved, which I think is a bunch of bullshit. Fred's response was, what it was is, I gave you too much freedom. After this, Serena is fuming. She goes to Mark and she tells him, look, I want to separate my interests from Fred's. I'm done with him. Mark said, okay, we can talk about that later. Serena said, no, I need to do this right now. So Mark said, Serena, you're pregnant. Good, and I hope they take her baby so she can know how it feels. In Canada, Moira been working hard. Moira been working at the embassy, so to speak, I guess, the refugee camp. And she's been trying to connect these babies with families or give them a safe place to stay. Her and Emily both been working hard. Moira even have herself a little girlfriend here. Moira's just working herself so hard that she can't even spend time with her girlfriend. Emily told Moira that one of the kids' SNI information hasn't been turned in yet. So Moira goes over to collect it. And when she gets there, the aunt is she's like, I got so much things to do. I'm sorry. So she's looking for that. And Moira sees the little boy, Ashton. He's over there looking sad. His aunt tells Moira that she cooked about 5 different dishes and it's nothing that he likes. So Moira goes over and she tried to have a talk with Ashton. And Ashton said he hated here. He missed his mom, his dad. Ashton is only a kid, so he doesn't understand what's going on right now. He's used to his life at Gilead. He asks Moira, will he ever see his mom and dad again? And Moira said, hell no. Them ain't your peoples. This made Asher run upstairs and his aunt was like, come back down here and apologize. Moira said, no, it's fine. Ashton is fine. His aunt said, that's not his name. His name is James, like my brothers. Ma'am, Esther James is going to need a lot of professional help. She needs to pipe it down, get some understanding in her heart. But with all of this, Moira is now frustrated. She goes back down to the office. She said, here, I got this form. And Emily is like, what's up? She said, the kid is just fucked up. He misses Gilead. A lot of them, it sucks right now. These kids are getting ripped from the only family that they can remember. Emily said, yeah, I guess June didn't think about that. Moira said, because that's what she do. She's selfish. She does things and she don't think about the consequences after it. And this is true. This is June. June as well is very selfish. But what I will say about June is she's doing things for the greater good. But still, there are times when June done things just to be self-serving. Moira said, I could be messy, but that bitch, She said, you know what? I love her and I'm worried about her and I miss her. Only since there was more. And she was like, and Moira said, I love June, but I ain't asked to be no mother. Moira feels like she has to do all of these things because she feel guilty. She feel guilty that she made it out and June didn't. I think all of the survivors in a way has some form of survivor's remorse, which is normal, but you can't let it consume your entire life. It's not healthy and it can drive you crazy, especially when you can't control things such as just what Moira went through with Ashton. Later that day, Moira took Rita over to Ashton. Rita was a Martha and she knows how to prepare the meals that Ashton may like, and she's familiar with the customs and everything. When they arrive at the house, Ashton and Rita clicked. And she also gave him a little toy from back home, it looks like. See, Moira, you kind of did save the day. You made him smile. Moira then rushed over to her girlfriend's house, but her girlfriend was leaving out. She has business to do, money to make. So she said, Dad, you know, I was getting ready to leave and everything. I told you that I had to go over here. So Moira said, well, I was thinking we got about 15 minutes. So they sat outside while her girlfriend was waiting for her lift. Her girlfriend says to her, you know, you can always come with me. Moira better go on and get her life. Shit. And that doesn't mean that she has to forget about the cause completely. But Moira does deserve to do her. Okay, back at Gilead, June got her recipe for poison. Janine asked her, are you sure you don't want anyone to come with you? It seemed dangerous there. She said, no, just make sure little Big Mama got some shoes, comfortable shoes to walk in because we're going to be walking far. Get everybody ready for tonight and I'll be back. Off to Babylon's brothel. Operation Mayday is in full effect. June makes her way in and she finds Daisy. Daisy, remember, she was the one from the day before that was going to give June the safe house. So she gives Daisy the poison. She tells her to give it to the commanders, the drivers, take the keys, take the walkie-talkies, everything that you can. So Daisy is like, look, I don't think I could do this. She said, yes, you can. One of the aunts came in and she was nasty, talking about what is Daisy doing, to hurry up and bring her piggy self on out there. And she wants Daisy to bring her some tea. Bitch, I'm gonna bring you some tea. Daisy said, well, I guess it's better to die on your feet than on your knees. She takes the poison and she said to June, hey, you want to stick around and watch and see what happens? Oh, child, the party got turned. Every man in there is drinking. It's shots everywhere. Also, Aunt Wendy has her tea. June is satisfied and she's driving home. They're driving home, her and the driver. So they're pulling up and it's just quiet. And June is like, hold up, something isn't right. So both of them walk towards the house. And honey, the driver was gone like that. Okay? Brain matter everywhere. June then reaches for the driver's gun that he dropped. And then all of a sudden, all these infrared lights just come beaming on June. Like if she does something with that gun, it's over for her. And out walks motherfucking Nick, asking where the handmaids are and that he's trying to save June's life. Oh, I can't stand him. Now, June goes hard with everyone else, but here she says nothing and she starts to cry. Why? He's not worth your tears, baby. And that's where the story ends, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.